For today's cook, we're gonna find out which way is the best way to tenderize your steak. We're gonna be putting fruits enzymes against human-made machines that were actually designed to tenderize. This is our final episode of tenderizing steaks to find out which one is best. If you have not seen all the previous episodes from this series, make sure you check it out in the description later on. I actually tried everything, and in the end it turned out that pineapple and papaya were the best. With all that being said, today we're gonna find out which way is the best way to tenderize a very inexpensive steak. So let's do it. And this is the cut of meat I chose for today's cook. It is perfect because it is not tender and it's also very inexpensive. If you are unfamiliar with this cut, you shouldn't. It's called eye round, and it comes from the part of the cow that does a lot of work. So unlike ribeye or New York strip or tenderloin, this one is far away from being tender. But as it turns out, it is perfect for our experiment. Usually people do not use this cut as a steak but as a roast. If you cook it for a very long time, it can come out nice and tender. However, if you use the right equipment or the right method, you can actually get it quite tender just like a steak. So the first thing I need to do is to make steaks out of it. To give our contestants the best chance of success, I'm going to be cutting 1 inch thick. Any longer than that, it will be way too tough. As you can see, just by looking at the grains, you can already tell that this is a tough cut of meat. But I'll tell you right now, if you just cook them like this, you will be basically a shoe leather. This was not meant to be a steak. But hey, for today's experiment, it is the perfect choice. I'd like to introduce to you the first contestant. Everyone has this one at home. It is a meat mallet. We have the coarse side, which was designed to break down connective tissue, and the opposite side was designed to smooth it out. The first thing I like to do is to lay down some clinch plastic. This allows me to work fast, but most importantly, not spreading meat all over my counter. Now an eye round is like a shoe leather, as I mentioned. Pound it like you mean it, because even though I'm going full force over here, as you can see, is almost doing nothing. But after about 25 hits on one side, I have to flip it and do another 25 on the other side. And once I was done, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the meat mallet did its job, and to find out if it was good enough, that's to be determined later on in the video. But I'll tell you one thing, by the looks of this, it looks like it worked. Jumping on to the next one, we got papaya. It has a very specific enzyme called papain, which works by breaking down meat proteins using a chemical process called hydrolysis. Meat proteins have very large molecules, and in hydrolysis, papain makes them smaller. Now the most interesting thing to me is that the papain is not only located on the fruit itself, but also on the skin and the actual leaf of the whole plant. And we've tried this before and we know it works. To use it, it's pretty easy. Throw everything into the blender and blend it well. Once you are done with it, this is what you're left with. Yes, it is better to blend everything together. Just like I said it previously, the concentration of papain is actually on the skin itself, even though the fruit does have it. But as you can see, this is the slurry that will make it tender. I know it doesn't look appetizing, but remember, you're not gonna eat this. It is just a tenderizing marinade. But now that we have it ready, all there's left to do is to add in our steak. And one of the most important things to do is to make sure that steak is completely covered by it. If not, you will not have the same effect. Now jumping on to the next one, we got pineapple. Everyone loves pineapple, but there's a specific enzyme in there called Bromelain that breaks down meat proteins, which ultimately, to make it easy to understand, it actually just disintegrate meat. And if you have not seen the previous video we made called Will Pineapple Disintegrate a Steak, you should definitely check that out, because I'll tell you one thing, this thing is powerful. And just like the papaya, it's actually located throughout the entire fruit, but the strongest concentration of bromelain is actually the skin. That is why it is important to blend everything together. The fruit has some, but not as much as the skin. And to use it is quite simple, just like the papaya. Throw everything into a blender and make the slurry. As you can see, it also does not look appetizing, but remember, you're not going to be eating this. It's just a tenderizing agent. Now there's left to do is to put our steak in there and let it marinate. Just do me one favor, do not leave it for too long, because if you do, you already know what happens. And just in case you don't know, go check out that video that I mentioned. I must say, use caution, because that video can be quite disturbing. To make it even more interesting, I'm wondering what will happen if we combine both together, the pineapple and also the papaya. So as my third steak, I'm combining both together to find out. And just like previously, make sure every single part of the steak is covered. That way it will give us a nice accurate result. Now our next contestant is called jacquard. It's basically little knives that cuts the meat. And I'll tell you one thing, these little things are sharp. They can easily go through anything. To use it, it's pretty straightforward. You just gotta smash it it down on the steak as much as you can. And the most interesting thing for me is that it goes down like nothing. And once I was done with it, this is what I was left with. As you can see, the jacquard did its job well, maybe a little bit too well, because it no longer looked like a steak. Now I know what you guys are gonna say in every video. Guga, why don't you try one steak with all of the methods together? That's what you guys ended up asking in every single episode of this series. So for our very final episode, I am going to do so. I first started with a jacquard, followed by the slurry of pineapple and papaya mix. And I made sure that every single edge of that steak was completely covered with the enzymes. Now that we have all of them 100% ready, all there's left to do is put them on my refrigerator to let them sit for a total of 1 hour. And do not even think about going any longer than that. If not, you will end up with ground beef, because these enzymes are so powerful they'll just eat your steak. Once the 1 hour was up, the next step is to make sure we wash them thoroughly. It is important to get the fruits completely out of them. And when I say wash it, I mean it. And if necessary, make sure you change the water as many times as possible to make sure everything is out. So once I was done with the washing, this is what I was left with. And the very first one we have is the pineapple. As you can see, the enzymes definitely did its job. The steak is way more tender, also has some type of mushiness in the surface. But I'll tell you one thing, it feels extremely tender on my hand. And as I already know from experience, this one is tender. And here we have the papaya. As you can see, as I stretch it out, it actually did the same exact thing. The fibers are completely separating from each other, and it does feel quite tender. And here we have the mix of both of them. As you can see, the enzymes also did its job. But I must say, it feels different. Even though the fibers are actually separating, it does not feel as tender as the other two. And here we got the meat mallet. I'll tell you right now, this one does not feel as tender. Not even close to the pineapple or the papaya. It seems like the tenderizing actually just did it on the surface, but nothing throughout the entire steak. So I'm gonna have to say that this one is actually the control, which actually means that it's the least tender one. Now let's move on to the jacquard. Oof, this one is almost falling apart. It actually looks like ground beef. And if you ever bought what's called a cube steak, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll tell you one thing, it feels extremely tender. Maybe just too tender. And I think if I shake it real hard, it just might completely break apart. That jacquard is sharp and it definitely did its job. And the very last one is the one that we tried everything. And as you can see, oh boy, that looks terrible. It's like it's disintegrating right on the surface. This is not looking good. It reminds me of the pineapple disintegration experiment. And as you already know, that was a complete disaster. I'll tell you one thing, I am not looking forward to eat this one. But now that we have all of our steaks ready, all there's left to do is to season them. And for that, I started with salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder. That is my go-to seasoning to make sure that we actually taste the beef. And as always, remember to season both sides, including the edges. But now that we have all of our steaks ready, I'm going to be direct grilling them. That means hot and fast and quick. Since they don't have a lot of fat, I'm also going to be basting them with some butter. And I can't wait to find out which one is going to be the winner. So now I say it is enough talking and it is time to cook them. So let's do it.
All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks. What do you think, Angel? Are you ready?
Some of them look good. Some
of them don't look that good, everybody. I gotta be honest with you. You saw the video.
some of them look reminiscent of another video.
If you are listening to the rain, I apologize. It just started pouring rain. Welcome to Florida. One time is nice and sunny. 5 seconds later, it's rainy like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
With all that being said, you ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's go for it. So we're gonna try this one here first. Let's see. Tell me what you think. This is our let's call it control. Yeah, everybody, this is our control, all right?
Oh, this is control?
Control, yeah. All right, everybody, first one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Angel.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, too.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, round, yeah. Good job on that. You can tell right away. I mean, it's chewy, but that's a nice flavor because of all those spices that I put there.
You
Salt,
can eat it,
pepper,
you can
garlic
eat it.
powder. It is a little bit more tender than usual. You know why? Because I grabbed a mallet and I went to town on it, so it's a little bit more tender than usual,
Okay.
but not that much.
No.
All right, everybody. Second one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
Oh.
come on. Huge difference.
That one is way softer. 100%.
Oh yeah, much more tenderness. If you were to compare, this one is like 5 levels up from this one. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a big change. That
Alright.
one, going from here to there, it's a big change. But I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
The crust does have a weird texture.
Yeah,
It's a little bit grainy. It's a little bit like dusty, I guess you could say. Is
yeah. You know what it is?
it pineapple?
Pineapple. We got pineapple in the house, everybody. You can tell because it's that graininess.
Yeah, you could feel that it's like it's too much
Yeah.
for the steak, I guess.
Also, I'll tell you one thing. It is very difficult to get a nice sear if you're, using the pineapple method because everything is wet. It's wet. All right. But I do like the flavor, though. I do not mind eating this steak at all with some nice rice, some Japanese
Yeah.
rice. You know what I mean?
It does not taste bad.
No, not
The
at all.
flavor is good,
It
but the texture is a little bit like grainy,
Right on the
dusty.
crust, I would say, yeah. Next one is going to be this one. Are you ready to try the next one?
Well, I already touched my fork on that one, so on mine.
Cheers, Angel.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Mm.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's nice and tender.
It is tender. Compared to the mallet, this one is more tender, and I like the flavor more.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Do you like it more, the flavor, than the pineapple, or no?
No, but it doesn't have the graininess, so I take it.
This one is papaya, by the way.
Oh,
Papaya. Remember we did an experiment where papaya was the winner? So to me, papaya versus pineapple, definitely pineapple wins. You?
in tenderizing,
Yeah.
100% pineapple.
All right, let's go for the next one. You ready?
I already put my
Go for it, buddy.
fork on that one, so.
Oh, this one feels different. Cheers,
Cheers.
buddy. Cheers, everybody. It's dry.
Yeah.
Much drier.
It's not like soft, like, oh, it is tender.
It's not
soft
like a
different.
steak. You know what I mean? It's not like a steak texture.
It kind of feels like picadillo-ish.
Tell them what picadillo is.
Ground beef.
Ground beef. That's exactly right. Yes.
almost like that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It is what it is.
Now this one here is the jacquard.
Oh, you
The
attacked it.
jacquard. I think what happens is when you hit it with the jacquard, you're making so many punctures in between the steak. And when you're cooking it, the juices basically fall out because they have plenty of holes to
It is
go.
drier.
Right? So when all of those holes are everywhere, it's just gonna completely dry out the steak, basically. Versus the other one, which is like the enzymes
Yeah,
got
and
to
I
work.
guess the heat can go in there too, so you
Yeah.
might even overcook a little bit. if
Yeah,
do
you
it
can. But it does look like,
A little bit more cooked.
yeah, maybe a little bit more cooked.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, all of them taken out at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, as you guys know. Okay, next one.
Okay.
This one,
This one looks like it got the best crust.
this one does. The best smell too. Okay. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Ooh,
Huh.
not what I expected.
Tenderness is over here.
Over here, together with the mullet.
Yeah.
Well, that's surprising. You know what this is? I
No.
put pineapple and papaya together, mix them up, and let it tenderize. That does not work, everybody.
Don't mix your pineapple with your papaya.
No, I wonder if the enzymes from the pineapple and the enzymes from the papaya don't get along. They're not friends.
I don't know. That I do know that this one is a lot tougher
I
than
agree.
this one and this one.
100% agree. I
So-
would not recommend mixing them up. I'm sure there's a lot more smarter people than us on the comment section They're gonna let us know why. Maybe those enzymes, they're not friends. Put in the comments, everybody. We don't know.
Intellectuals, please give me the scientific meaning of why this is so tough compared to these two.
All right, ready for this one? This one don't look very good. Look at his face.
I think I'm getting a phone call. I gotta go. I gotta take that phone call.
Oh my God! It lost its color.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, look at that.
It's tender.
Oh yeah. This one is not very good, everybody. Oh boy, I'm having some deja vu.
It's like the steak took a in my mouth.
You don't curse, bro. Don't say that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about, everybody. Andrew, you ready? Look at you. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh.
Well, it's not taking shit in my mouth, but it's not good.
Don't curse on the video, bro. Oh, grainy, dry. Maybe I just put too much power with that jacquard because I hit it with the jacquard, Angel. And then I put the pineapple, and then I put the papaya. I did everything with this one. Which one is your favorite out of all of them?
My winner.
Your papaya? Papaya, really? Oh, we're gonna disagree today. Oh, we're gonna disagree. Definitely the pineapple is the winner for me, everybody.
That was my runner-up.
That was your runner-up? Pineapple is the way to go. It is one of the best ways for us, at least, to tenderize the steak. The jacquard could work good as well. Maybe if I didn't go to town so much, because I wanted to make it extra tender.
You attacked it, huh?
I ended up doing ground beef. With all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in any of the equipment I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Forget the jacquard. Forget the mallet. Forget mixing the jacquard with the fruit.
Buy the fruit.
Keep the fruits.
Buy the fruit, eat the fruit, save a little piece, tenderize your steak. You got steak and dessert. Come on. Way to go. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.